Hey everyone, I'm Nick de la Torre and welcome to Awaken the Word. Today we're reading from the Gospel of Matthew. Then Jesus summoned his 12 disciples and gave them authority over unclean spirits to cast them out and to cure every disease and every sickness. These are the names of the 12 apostles. First, Simon, also known as Peter, and his brother Andrew, James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew the tax collector, James son of Alphaeus and Thaddeus, Simon the Cananaean, and Judas Iscariot, the one who betrayed him. These 12 Jesus sent out with the following instructions: Go nowhere among the Gentiles, and enter no town of the Samaritans, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. As you go, proclaim the good news. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. At first reading, this passage, especially the end of it, is a little peculiar. Jesus is asking his apostles not to go and preach the gospel to the Gentiles. I thought his whole thing was that he wanted to save Gentiles. Well, he does, of course, want to save Gentiles, but there is a preeminent concern in his mind and his heart, and that is to bring home all of the children of Israel who have fallen away. And I find that to be very, very interesting, especially as someone who's in ministry, because in my own life, there is a little bit of a difference between my work in the kingdom when I'm clocking in and out of my whatever ministry job I have, and then my work for the kingdom at home, the domestic church. So what do I mean? Well, for example, when you're serving the kingdom in a very public way and you're in ministry, or maybe you're just out and about preaching the gospel to people because you're, a crazy John the Baptist type, there is like a certain persona that you might find yourself putting on of holiness, where you're really, you love God, and it's reflected in all of your actions and stuff and the way you talk to people. But then maybe when you go home, it's like, I can, be myself now, and I can just kick my feet up and relax and watch TV and yell at my kids and be impatient and a curmudgeon. Well, there is definitely a problem there. And I think that with today's passage, my first thought is, instead of pouring all of my focus on the exterior, I need to make sure that my interior is in a good place. I need to make sure that my interior is completely God's. And what comes in at a close second after your own heart is those in your direct circle of influence, your spouse, your children. Those are the people whom you need to concern yourself are getting to heaven before anyone else. And when you have focused on that, and when that is in place, when that is in order, then you can move beyond that. So, my invitation to you today, get your house in order. Make sure your own heart is totally God's. And then those in your direct circle of influence, and then the rest of the world. I have been Nick. This has been Awaken the Word. And before you go, I just need you to know that Jesus loves you. Peace.